Alright, God halalim Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Harakakadash, Ubarakatam. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This little brother here, Shema Shawan. Alright, with another, not really another, but with a continuation of the history of Pergamos. I was doing the video and I noticed that my Revelation chapter 20 breakdown is a little outdated. So I went and I saw a little excerpt of the verse. So we're going to recap part 1 and 2 pretty much. And we're going to continue on because Revelation, History of Pergamum video, part 2 is actually a fair bit longer. But I edited it down, edited the part out where I was a little bit murky. Okay, so we're just going to take it from the top real quick. And we're just going to go back and go back to that point. We're just going to hit on it lightly. So it's Revelation chapter 2. I guess we'll start at 13. I know that works and where Satan dwelleth, where thou dwellest. I know that works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. Okay, because that place was a Roman province. The Adalid dynasty pretty much handed it over to the Romans. Okay, they betrayed the Seleucid Empire. Alright, those guys are fucking wicked as fuck. Alright, first it was Philatelus who betrayed Lysimachus. Okay, and then after that, he betrayed Lysimachus and joined up with Seleucus. Okay, and then later on his sons, or not really his sons, but his nephews, okay, his line, okay, once again betrayed the Seleucid dynasty for the Romans. Okay, so it's just going back to the Roman province. And now hold this fast my name and has not denied my faith, even in those days when Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. Okay, Antipas was put in that brazen bull. Okay, they had him killed. So Antipas is dead. Okay, so that's it for Antipas. We have the history of Pergamum. Okay, but just for completion's sake, okay, I'll probably call this video History of Pergamum Extras. Okay, just for completion's sake, okay, we're gonna move on. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast done that whole the doctrine of Balaam. Okay, so in Pergamum you had a sect that believed in the doctrine of Balaam. Okay, who the hold the doctrine of Balaam would tell Allah to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto the idols, and to commit fornication. And when you go back to that Balaam account, Balaam was pretty much a prophet for hire. Okay, so that's part of that doctrine, being all about money, being of the world. Okay, committing heresies essentially. Okay, so hast thou also done the whole doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Okay, which the Nicolaitans were also going off. They were also heathens. Okay, they were also following heathenistic customs. I believe I did find that thing somewhere where I found out that the Nicolaitans were doing like orgies. They were like an imperial court that did orgies and shit. And when you look up that word Nicolaitans in the interlinear, we'll just do it real quick since this is extras. Destruction of people who were charged with holding the area of Balaam, casting stone block before the church of the Most High, upholding liberty of eating things sacrificed to idols, as well as committing fornication. That's not what that's talking about. There's two different groups. You had Nicolaitans, okay, but you also had these guys that follow on the ways of Balaam. All right, prophecy for hire, eating things sacrificed to idols. There's actually not really much information on the Nicolaitans, but I do believe that they were doing orgies. Okay, verse 16, repent or else I will come unto thee quickly and will fight against with the sword of my mouth. Okay, judgment. Alright, verse 17, he hath to have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone. Alright, the hidden manna is this truth. Okay, this knowledge. Okay, and will give him a white stone. Okay, the white stone represents acquittal from judgment. Okay, and that was pretty much what we were going into. Okay, acquittal from judgment. All right, we're hitting up on Revelation chapter 20. Okay, and we're just gonna read down from verse 4 to 6. Actually, we'll start at verse 1. Okay, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. The bottomless pit is going into Europe. Alright, it goes into that in Revelation chapter 9. Alright, it's just Europe. Okay, the king of that bottomless pit, it's talking about Revelation chapter 9, is going into World War I. Okay, and that's Kaiser Wilhelm. Alright, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Esau, Edom, okay, who is the dragon, okay, the Roman Empire, the old serpent, okay, back in the beginning, in the olden days, you know, with Adam and Eve, okay, Esau, Edom, tricked Eve and deceived her, okay, which pretty much brought everyone down, all of us down, you know. Esau, Edom lied to Eve, okay, and told her, hey, if you start getting into these philosophies, you're not going to die, okay, and Eve fell for it, as a woman does. She falls for fucking everything, okay. The old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Alright, the counterpart of Satan, okay, not fucking pitchfork, okay, not pitchfork, not an actual fucking, not spiritual demon Satan. Spiritual demon Satan was all around during that time period, okay. He was still moving around. Spiritual demon Satan was never bound, okay. It's talking about Esau, Edom, which is the counterpart of Satan. I actually want to go look into those words. I know the word devil means deceiver, you know, calamiter, a deceiver, you know, but I want to see Satan. I don't want to get too far off, okay, because that white stone, we're gonna get into it in a little bit. Just please have you know, just keep following me, you know, bear with me here. Adversary, you know, prince of evil spirit, no, just adversary. We don't, yeah, just an adversary. He's adverse to the truth, okay, and bound him 1,000 years, okay. Esau, Edom was bound 1,000 years, okay, and when you go into the time of the Moors, or the Moorish rulership, okay, we had Esau, Edom, not in slavery, but in subjection, okay, because even though they did not have the same level of authority and power that we had, okay, we did teach them certain things. We did teach them how to bathe. We gave them mathematics. You know, we gave them science. Okay. You know, we taught them how to farm. We taught them how to plant. We were curing their diseases. Okay. When you go into the history, Esau, Edom was living in barns. That's where smallpox come from, when you're around those animals. You know. Moving on. And cast them into the bottomless pit, okay, Europe, and shut them up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. After that, he must be loosed a little season, okay. So 1,000 years go on, you know, 1,000 years go on, and those came and passed around 1453 with the fall of Constantinople by the Turks. You can argue even earlier than that, okay. Now around 1300 to 1453 was pretty much when Jake started getting his ass kicked. You know, there were certain infightings, alright, which you had civil wars all throughout that 1,000 year period between Jake versus Jake, Jake on Jake crime, you know. But you know, it came to a point where Esau, Edom was starting to get out, and they started besieging you know, various strongholds. You know, he started kicking our ass, okay, and taking that land from us, okay, which all the way leads up into slavery, okay. They call us Moors, okay. They know, you know what I'm saying. They look at Tom Molyneux, Blackamoors. I mean, this a whole nother lesson in itself, okay. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, okay. So he's seen the elect, okay. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, okay. So John is seeing, okay, the saints being, you know, given power and authority, Okay, and for the word of the Most High, and which should not worship the beast, America, neither the image. Okay, America's judicial system, their colleges. Okay, even though I've been forced to be here in this place, I don't find joy here. You know, that's one of the many reasons why I cut my hair. You know, cutting your hair is a sign of mourning. Okay, but it also intentionally makes me unattractive to these um, young women. Okay, and it also helps with me hide my identity. So I mean, it's all in one, bro. Like I mean, you know, people won't recognize me because my shit is low. You know, girls don't want to talk to me. They'll think I'm fucking, I don't know, I got cancer or something. And then not to make a joke about cancer, but it is what it is. You know, and it generally makes me unattractive. You know, moving back into it. Verse 4. Okay. That were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High. Alright, the word of the Most High, the scriptures, obviously. And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had his marcus upon their foreheads or in their hands. Okay, obviously, we know that's the great tribulation, you know, the great um, temptation. I think that's what it's called. Let me go back. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is going into that Marcus, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, to judge everybody. Okay, so because we keep these patience and keep the word, okay, we're going to be held. I don't know what this is how we are of that number. We will be kept from the temptation of taking the Marcus. Yep. As mark upon the foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. Okay, now this 1,000 years here, and these 1,000 years here, are two different 1,000 years. In verse 4, this is an eternity. Okay, but this 1,000 years here is the actual time period from roughly around year 300, year 400, when Constantine was on the scene, which I believe is around 400, 300 AD. I'm not exactly too sure on that. Let's look that up. Since we brought it up, Constantine 1 rule. What is Constantine's rule? Yeah, he reigned during the 4th and 5th century. Well, 4th century, so around 400. So I was right. Around 400 AD to around 1450 AD. 1453 AD, okay, was when the fall of Constantinople. After that, that was pretty much it for Jake. All right, moving on. Okay, this 1,000 years is 1,000 years already passed. This is 1,000 years here. Is another 1,000 years. Okay. And just to get a quick precept on verse 4, just something that's pretty simple to go into. It's really not that difficult. Daniel chapter 7, verse 27. And in the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the heaven under the whole heaven. Okay, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Okay, I don't know if this is that number. That's the Israelites, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So that is what John the Revelator was seeing. Okay, I want something I was looking for. Let's just look up saint. Okay. Let's see if we can look up saints. 10,000 of saints. All the saints, love the people, all saints are in thy hand. Okay. You'll keep the feet of his saints. The wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. Okay. Let's look at that word saints. Since we're here, I'm actually curious what that word saints is. Okay. It doesn't have the word saints, but since we're here, since it popped up into our minds, okay, once again, this is kind of extras. Okay, consecrate holy. Alright, we are the holy people. Alright. All saints, saint, sainte, a saint, a holy relic, displacing or altering Old English sanct, from Latin sanctus, holy, consecrated. Okay, we really don't need to read the rest. All right, we are holy people. When we're in our right mind, okay, we are holy people. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. For the Lord thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay, that's the saints of the Most High. Quick, fast, easy. Nothing more we really need to go into on that. All right, that's it. All right, the saints. This is going into the saints of the Most High, the 144,000. Okay, which are Israelites. Okay, of course, with the great multitude coming down as well. All right, those of the Israelite foreigners. Okay. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years are finished. Okay? Now this 1,000 years, okay, is talking about, is going with verse 4. Okay? This is these are two different 1,000 years. Verse 4 is eternity, because we went to Daniel chapter 7, and I believe around 26 or so, or 21, I don't remember. Okay? That 1,000 years is eternity. But verse 5 is an actual period of time. 1,000 just means completion. So for a certain amount of time, these heathens, okay, which verse 5 is talking about the heathens, okay, they're not going to live again. They're not going to be able to really have their head screwed on straight for a certain amount of time. Okay, why? All right. This is the book of Numbers, chapter. I haven't gone into this chapter a long time. Is it Numbers? No. Let's see. Is it Numbers 26? I think maybe I said 20. Hold on. Numbers chapter 22. It is 24. I got it wrong. That's no problem. So if anyone does make it this far into the video, if I said Numbers 28, it's Numbers 24. Okay, and I want to go down Numbers 24. Okay, Numbers 24 verse 17. Okay, this is Balaam talking. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, Yahushai, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, Yahushai, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do violently. Okay? Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Okay? So once again, the other nations are going to be possessions. They're going to be slaves. Verse 20. And we looked on Amalek, he took up us parables. So Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Okay? We don't got to really go into the other ones. It's really going to Canaanites. But Amalek is the top level Edomite. Alright? Those are hopefully it's not going to... Well, I'm going to say Rothschilds, Oppenheimers, various banking families, Rockefellers. I'm certain all of them are Amalekites. Okay? Because they claim to be the true children of Israel. Okay, even though the scriptures say that Israel will be a robbed and spoiled people, a cursed people. Okay, they have so much money they don't even know what to do with it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. The other nations are going to be in slavery. Okay, it's only Esau. Okay, Esau's going to be at the bottom. Okay, but his latter end shall be that he shall perish, shall be that he perish forever. Really, Esau Edom is going to be destroyed. Okay, Esau Edom is going to be destroyed. And I could go into a couple of these verses from Obadiah chapter 1, but I'm just going to go straight to the point. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Okay, powerful. And the house of evil for stubble. Okay, what did we just read before? Okay, that Amalek is going to perish forever. Okay, that Esau is going to be, Edom is going to be a possession. Okay, and house of evil for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Most High hath spoken it. Alright, Esau is going to be destroyed forever. Is something on me? Yeah, it felt like something was on me for a second. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the point. That's the point. No need to go um, overboard. Okay. Uh, yeah. So the dead live not again. Okay. Remember, the other nations are gonna be enslaved for a certain amount of time. Okay. Then after a certain time period, they're going to, um, you know, uh, not have rulership, but they're going to. Hold on. Give me a second. They're gonna be enslaved. Okay, the other nations are gonna be enslaved. Okay, but after a certain time period, we're gonna let the Elamites and these other nations, other heathen nations, go. This is Daniel chapter 7. Uh, yeah, Daniel chapter 7, verse 12. Concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. For a season and a time. Okay? Remember, Esau, Edom is going to be the only nation that's going to be absolutely destroyed. Their men are going to be gone. Okay? There's not going to be no Edomites. Okay? Those Edomites, those terror Edomites, okay? They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be put in a pit, or however the hell we do it. Okay? Pertaining to Obadiah 1 and 18, and they're not going to exist anymore. Okay? We're going to have wax museums with these fucking Edomites, and we're going to go laugh at them. You know? They're gonna, at this certain time period, they're not gonna exist no more. Okay, and there'll be peace on earth. Okay, but the other nations after a certain time period, they're gonna live. Okay, but live not again to 1,000 years. We're finished. Okay, so at a certain time period, these other heathens, okay, they're not going to. They're going to be spiritually dead, but they're already spiritually dead. But, when they're under us, they're going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, but they're going to be in hard bondage. Okay, they're going to be in slavery. Okay, not to the same extent as Esau, but they're still going to be in slavery. Okay, as they enslaved us, now they have to be enslaved. Okay, but Esau is going to be the only nation that's going to be destroyed. Okay, this is the first resurrection. Okay, now the way this is written, when it says this is the first resurrection, you would think this is talking about the heathens. No, let's read down to verse 6 and we'll get the understanding. Blessed and holy is he that had part in the first resurrection. Resurrection, again, surrection going into rise, so rise again. Okay, so that's going to be the rising again of Yasharallah, the rising again of Israel. Okay, on such the second death hath no power. Okay, how is the second death not going to have any power over us? Okay, I don't know where that number will be saved out of the chariots, or some of us are going to be killed, as was talked about in verse 4. Okay, so the first resurrection is what's being talked about in verse 4. Okay, on such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High, and of Yahushua and Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Okay, this is the same 1,000 years talked about here. Okay, 4 and 6. Those go one and the same. Okay, that 1,000 years is eternity. Okay, pertaining to the the scriptures I just brought out. That will have an everlasting kingdom, as I brought out in Daniel chapter 7. Okay, the first resurrection in 5 is not talking about the heathen. The heathens are not priests of the Most High. They can't serve the Most High. They have nothing to do with that power. Okay, and there's certain things I can get on that, but I'm just gonna let it go. Okay, reign with him 1,000 years. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Verse 7 is jumping back in time again. Okay, and going back and talking about verse 1 through 3, and talking about the Renaissance. The Renaissance time period. Okay, because how could verse 4 through 6 be talking about the Moors? Because the Moors were following Islam and following Kemetic and various other. Some of them were, okay, even though you had Christian and Jewish Moors, okay, quote unquote Jewish Moors, okay. You also had Moors that were going way the hell off. Okay, that's not what it's talking about. All right, it's jumping to various time periods. Okay, but that's pretty much it on that. Okay, the second death, that's what I wanted to hit on. Okay, the second death, which is that's pretty easy to break down. Revelation chapter 21 verse 8. But the fearful, unbelieving, and abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in a lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So pretty much we went into a Pergamum. They had the Nicolaitans there, as well as these people holding the doctrine of Balaam. But the Most High is telling us, okay, you repent from these ways. If you do repent, then to that person, okay, you'll have the hidden man, you have the truth, you'll have a white stone, okay, and we're going to read it again. This is Revelation chapter 2 verse 17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone. Okay, the white stone is going into acquittal from judgment. What judgment? Okay, we just broke that down in Revelation chapter 20. We read the whole thing, which took a little bit of time. Okay, Revelation chapter 20, we went from like 1 to 6. Okay, acquittal from judgment. Okay, and that acquittal from judgment, if I didn't say it already, it's talking about Adam Ratazah. We got that number, possibly even being 144,000. Okay, that's acquittal from judgment, being saved. Okay, being 144,000 of the great multitude. Okay, that's acquittal. All right, you're being acquitted. You won't have to go through the second death. Okay, which the second death is thermonuclear fire. If I didn't say it already. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did, but slack if I didn't. I'm getting a little bit of brain fog. It's kind of late. Okay, and but that lake of fire is thermonuclear fire. Okay, that's it's missiles. Okay, you don't want to be in that. And in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saying, saving he that receiveth it. Okay, the new name. Let's go look at that word anew. Recently made, fresh, recent, unused, unworn. Of certain affinity, new, freshness. Okay, so the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, as well as Yahweh by Yahushai, those names are going to be renewed. They're going to be refreshed. Okay, the names were never lost. Okay, they may have been forgotten. Okay, or may have been, I guess that's the right word, forgotten, because Israel always had the name. Okay, Kumbaya. Okay, Israel called on Yah. Okay, variations of Yah. When you're hearing the Jamaican music, they'll say Yah, 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 Yah. Okay, they always had the name, right? They just lost it over time. Okay, or the name kind of got bastardized over the years. As some followed heathen customs. Okay, even in Native Americans, quote unquote Native Americans, the Gadites, Northern Kingdom. They believed in they called the name of the Most High Yohiwa, okay, which they did still have the name. It was lost to time, okay. It was never lost. It was just, somewhat forgotten. All right. But this to us, right? I don't know if this we have that number. A new name is that refreshed name. Okay, the name is going to be refreshed. Okay, it's not going to be trampled by the heathen like they do it. The heathen trample under Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. They make fun of the name. Okay, they're not going to do that in the kingdom. Okay, the name is going to be fresh. Okay, it's gonna be as it was before, when the nations feared the name. Okay, right now they feel that they can kind of trample over the name and do whatever they want with the name. Okay, and laugh at us and poke fun at us. Okay, but it's gonna come to a point where it's going to come back to the olden days when we have our power back. Okay, and they're going to be in fear of the Israelites. Okay, they're going to fear, first and foremost, they're going to fear Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, because we're going to make them fear. Okay, and the Most High, first of all, before us, the Most High is going to make them fear again. Okay, and then we're going to make them fear. All right, because we're gonna fucking have our fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be fucked up. If they say we're not gonna serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, if we catch them with some idols, man, oh man, shit, we gonna bring back them Iron Maidens. We gonna get them Iron Maidens back. Iron Maidens are gonna come back in a big way. Moving on. A white stone and a new name written, which no man knoweth, saying he that receiveth. Okay? Who are those that receive the name? Alright, the Israelites. That's our name. Okay, that name is for the Israelites only. Okay? Now, over some time, alright, the heathens are going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Alright? But that name was originally given to who? Okay, who did Moses give the name to? Did he give it to the Moabites? The Elamites? Fuck no. Okay? He gave it to the children of Israel. Okay? That's pretty much it on this breakdown. You know, just for completion's sake. I really could have stopped at verse 16. You know, but that's pretty much the rundown on that. A little bit longer than I expected, but it is what it is. Alright. Call halalim Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Wahakadash Wakawar Barakatom. Alright, so that's pretty much it. You know, I'll call this video like extras or something. This is kind of like extras. You know, if you know, the whole Pergamos and you know, Antipas situation is pretty much done. The history is finished. Really nothing else I could possibly go into, you know. I can go into, actually there's a lot more I can go into, but I mean, for the extent of this video, that's it. Alright, so, you know, that's pretty much it. To be continued. Shalom.